Every species voted to enslave Earth. Now they all plead for mercy. HFY Sci-Fi story. The vote was unanimous. Every species in the Galactic Senate, from the cold-blooded Krell to the ancient-minded Valari, voted in favor of Enactment 994, the subjugation of Sol 3 and its dominant species. It was supposed to be a clean operation, a swift campaign to bring humanity under control, integrate them as a labor class, and strip Earth of its remaining resources. Humanity was underestimated. The first fleet that entered the Sol system came with no weapons armed. They were not there to fight, just to collect. Hover barges, slave collars, instruction manuals translated into what the Galactic Senate believed were simple Earth dialects. They never made it past Neptune. A swarm of stealth-capable human frigates, ones the galaxy hadn't known existed, shredded the collection fleet within minutes. No survivors, not even a distress signal. That should have been the first warning. But arrogance is a virus, and the Senate was deeply infected. Admiral Draz of Azothary led the second attempt. This time, armed vessels, cruisers, interceptors, an entire battle line meant for suppression. He addressed Earth's leaders via interstellar transmission. You have shown hostility. This is your only chance to submit. Kneel or be broken. Earth's response was a single word: try. That was the last message Admiral Draz received. His fleet never reached Mars. Earth's defense network lit up space with EMP pulses, kinetic interceptors, and something terrifying, a gravity well weapon that ripped ships from FDL and turned them into scrap. They were ready. They had known. That was when the Senate started to worry. No one had noticed Earth had gone silent 5 years prior. No transmissions, no signals, no trade. Everyone assumed they collapsed, fractured into civil war. In reality, humanity had gone dark, intentionally. They were preparing. The Senate convened again. This time, panic laced their voices. They are dangerous, whispered the Shirkar emissary. They have weapons no one else has seen. Others argued for a full-scale war. Genocide. Burn the planet. Make an example of them. It was already too late. The Terran War Fleet entered Senate space on the 4th day of deliberations. Not just ships behemoths, city-sized dreadnoughts, each bristling with weapons that defied known physics. The lead ship, Sol's Wrath, broadcast one simple message in perfect galactic standard. You voted for war. Now you will live with the consequences. The orbital defenses around the capital world of Zythra didn't even activate. They were hacked, turned inward. Plasma shield shattered. Drones rebelled. And then came the landings. The first footage emerged from the cities of Zythra. Massive black-armored humans walking through streets like ghosts. Unkillable, emotionless, efficient. They didn't shoot indiscriminately. They didn't torture. But they dismantled systems of power with surgical precision. They knew where every leader hid, every secure vault, every off-grid command center. No one understood how. The humans called it Project Blind Justice. Every senator, every ambassador, every species that voted for humanity's enslavement was pulled from their ivory towers and shackled in the same collars they'd forged for Earth. This wasn't conquest. This was retribution. Humanity broadcast the entire operation. Every species across the galaxy watched in horror as the mighty Senate cried, begged, pleaded for forgiveness. The Zothary, once proud warlords, were made to sweep streets in Terran-occupied zones. The Krell were forced to dismantle their own weapons under human supervision. The Valari? Forced to teach their histories, and censored for the first time in centuries. Earth didn't destroy, they taught, but the lessons came hard. Entire star systems that had voted in favor of the Subjugation Act found themselves blockaded. No trade, no tech, no aid. They had to beg for food from the very species they tried to enslave. It took 6 months for full Senate surrender. They didn't sign a treaty. They signed an apology, a formal, galaxy-wide admission of guilt, inscribed in all tongues, etched into the walls of the new interstellar charter, authored by Earth's United Governance Council. The words were seared in plasma across the largest moons in Senate space. We are the species you tried to cage. We are the minds you tried to mute. We are the hands you tried to chain. Now we are your reminder. That fire doesn't burn forever. It remembers. The galaxy changed. The Senate was disbanded, replaced by the Council of Equal Worlds. Earth didn't claim supremacy. They didn't enslave. Instead, they implemented the Pax Solaria, a peace enforced not by domination, but by omnipresent potential. Every species knew, if they tried again, if they so much as thought of rising against Earth, they would disappear, silently, swiftly. One senator, during the final vote on the new charter, whispered to a human envoy, "Why didn't you destroy us?" The human paused, then spoke, eyes cold as winter. "Because destruction is easy. But living in the world you try to build, that's justice."